This is the Valley Today.
New this morning, rescue stories are now pouring out of Florida after Hurricane Ian. And here is one about a man who saved his 84-year-old handicapped mother who was trapped in her flooded home in Naples. The former police officer and rescue diver made the half-mile journey in neck-deep, fast-moving water until he finally reached her. He found water in the home that was over 4 feet deep, with furniture, papers, and mementos floating all around his mother.
Now his mom says she didn't expect the water to get that high because during Hurricane Irma in 2017, she only had 6 inches in the house. The woman's grandson then arrived to help, and the two men pushed her out through her wheelchair there, through the water to safety. President Biden will get a look at the devastation in Fort Myers, Florida today. That's when he makes a post-hurricane visit.
A check of the weather in our neck of the woods. We also have a few things to watch out for. Lisa Green tracking it with those upcoming First Alert weather days. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Yes, we've got changes starting up as early as today, especially later tonight. A wind advisory has been issued this morning for a good portion of the immediate Red River Valley back over to the Devil's Lake Basin. This starts at 4 o'clock this afternoon, so most of the day should be quieter, but heading into the late afternoon and evening, we'll see those winds pick up. Until midnight is when this advisory is in effect, but it'll be windy all the way into Thursday too, and gusts may get up to about 45 miles per hour. So looking at a windy day here today, or windy afternoon, I should say. And this morning, the wind is so light that we've got some fog concerns, and visibility is very low in areas. Starting in the northern valley, we've got one area here in northwest Minnesota with widespread dense fog. Visibility is at a quarter mile in places like Hallock, Roseau, Thief River, Foston and Crookston all checking in at that number. So is Park Rapids and Detroit Lakes down at the bottom there. And Grand Forks is back down again this hour, below a mile visibility. Visibility at a half mile in Cooperstown. Southern Valley, it's not so bad in southeastern North Dakota, but if you go over to Lakes Country again, we're looking at visibility that's dropping down below a mile in places like Wadena. So again, visibility going to be your biggest concern this morning. Make sure even after sunrise, which is not for a while, we'll see that around the 7:30 time frame, but even after that, if we've got fog, to have your headlights on and just do that extra look as you're pulling out into traffic here. Here's a look at our planner for, or rather our temperatures for right now. We're into the 40s and 50s, 50 in Fargo, 46 in Grand Forks, and we're mainly in the 40s and 50s throughout the valley here to start off this morning. So it's not so bad temperature wise, and it's quiet on our radar too. We saw a couple of showers down in the south. Those are moving southward as well. So places like Browns Valley still seeing a little bit of rain, but beyond that, it's quiet here. So here's a look at our planner. Temperatures are still going to be warm today. We're looking at numbers getting up to 70 degrees in Fargo, many places in the south getting into that range, but the wind will come in later tonight, and that's when we'll start to see that colder air blasting in. So today's your day to get out and enjoy some 70-degree temperatures. Just be aware it's going to get windier as the day goes on. And we'll talk more about the wind and those cold changes as we move into some frigid air coming up for tonight and beyond.
So the countdown is on.
It is.
Lisa, thank you this morning.
6:04 now this morning. A Chicago man will spend the rest of his life in prison for killing a Minnesota father in a road rage incident. Jamal Smith killed 56-year-old Jay Botten of Crystal in 2021.
Botten was shot in the head as he drove his son home from a baseball game in the Minneapolis suburb of Plymouth.
I'm being called a scumbag. I'm getting called a narc. I'm getting called all of this. I didn't leak this information.
You just heard right there from a candidate in the race for Cass County Sheriff who says he is not behind the anonymous group that is stirring the pot within the sheriff's office. A group going by the name of Code 4 Media sent investigative files to a slew of local reporters and news outlets on Monday.
Valley News Live later learned Sheriff candidate Matt King was the only person who requested those documents, which raises questions about his involvement. But as King told crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley, he did not leak the information.
It's hard not to think that it isn't politically motivated because of the timing of it.
It's been a frustrating 24 hours for Cass County Sheriff candidate Matt King. He says he's in the dark as much as the public when it comes to who's behind Code 4 Media.
I am not Code 4. I am not associated with Code 4. I don't know Code 4.
In new emails to Valley News Live, Code 4 Media says they do not endorse a specific candidate this election, with their goal to, quote, inform the voters of what's going on in the Cass County Sheriff's Office.
Are they unhappy with things that are going on inside the office? Or is it supposed to make Johnner look bad? Is it supposed to, what is the intent?
When it comes to those investigative files released Monday regarding a nude photo sent from one deputy to another, King says yes, he did request those documents, but says he also showed them to others in the department.
So am I being targeted on this? I don't know.
King says he's not sure if someone he showed those documents to is behind the anonymous group. He says he also doesn't know if someone within the department with access to those files provided them to the group. When asked if the latter could be possible, Sheriff Jesse Johnner says, well, it could be. He didn't think that was the case. And King says he wants those in the group to take responsibility and come forward. But Code 4 Media tells us that won't ever happen. Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Now, Valley News Live has requested to open records of those requests and has also learned that the group Code 4 Media is made up of current and even former law enforcement officers as well as private citizens.
A Fargo man wanted for terrorizing since August is now back in jail. 31-year-old Robin Heinonen was arrested yesterday morning after police got a tip that he was in an apartment along 42nd Street South in Fargo. Authorities set up a perimeter around that building, and when they went inside, Heinonen jumped off the balcony but was later caught by a Fargo PD K-9 team. Some of the crimes that he is wanted for include gross sexual imposition, terrorizing, and aggravated assault.
The Becker County community will remember two longtime residents who were found dead in their home last week. It's what police are calling a murder-suicide. Friends tell us 45-year-old Stephen Stearns and 49-year-old Stacy Stearns were both diagnosed with terminal cancers. A celebration of life is planned for October 22nd at Height of Land Sportsman's Club. Mugshots for people in Burleigh and Morton County look a little different these days. Take a look at your screen. We have their faces blacked out here, but they're all wearing black plastic bags over their clothing.
The sheriff's department says this is a request from investigators. They say covering the distinct clothing can help create an unbiased lineup from those mugshots. Veterans from the Red River Valley were given the hero's welcome they deserve at Hector Airport in Fargo last night when they returned from a busy three-day honor flight to our nation's capital. Now, once on the ground in Fargo, their hearts were jumping again as they heard the applause and saw their loved ones cheering their return.
There were so many people, as you see there, signs, and even North Dakota U.S. Senator John Hoeven was there to shake the hand of every returning vet.
Just about crying. Really nice, really nice. Well, it means that American people are American people. They stick together for us veterans, and I'm happy.
All these people that helping, and it's just amazing. The volunteers that they have, they do such a good job that, you know, it's hard to describe, really.
When you're here and you see all their friends, their family, just people from the community coming out and saying, thank you for stepping up and defending our country, boy, it hits home. These guys are the best. We love them.
Well, clearly an emotional return. While in D.C., the vets made 12 separate stops. For a look back on our coverage, go to valleynewslive.com or simply look it up through the VNL News app. Well, it is baseball history with a Fargo connection. New York Yankees slugger Aaron Judge blasted his 62nd home run of the year last night while in Texas. The dinger makes him baseball's greatest single-season long ball hitter outside of the MLB's notorious steroid era.
Now, Judge's record-setting homer does break a tie with Fargo native Roger Maris for the most hits in a single American League season.
Wow.
It is now 6:09 here on this Wednesday morning. Many crops struggle during times of drought, but not grapes. Still to come here on the Valley today, why so many Minnesota winemakers say this will likely be a vintage year.
And up next, weather to plan out your day and look ahead to your week. A lot going on as we jump outside for this live look across Fargo. We'll be right back.